This is the story of Stephen, a dedicated and hardworking husband and father of 3 daughters, who works as a janitor for the company. The sun was already setting when Stephen locked the gate of their small home. His wife handed him his packed lunch before he left. "Take care, love. Don't push yourself too hard," she said softly. Stephen kissed her cheek, then crouched down to hug his 3 daughters tight. One by one, their small arms wrapping around his neck. "This is all for you," he whispered. "Everything will be all right." For 6 years, Stephen had worked as a janitor at the city office building. But as the cost of living rose and his daughters grew older with greater needs, he had taken on a second job, washing dishes until midnight at the diner just down the road. He was always the first to arrive, the last to leave, and never once complained about aching knees or sore hands. Not everyone saw his dedication the way his family did. One afternoon, as Stephen finished scrubbing the lobby floors, his colleague Mark blocked his path. Mark was arrogant, always cutting corners, and hated that Stephen's hard work made his own laziness more obvious. "Running off to your second shift again?" Mark sneered, crossing his arms. A few other co-workers stopped nearby, watching and snickering. Stephen nodded politely, wiping sweat from his forehead. "Yes, my family needs it." "Needs it?" Mark scoffed, loud enough for everyone in the hallway to hear. "You're just showing off, working twice as hard to make the rest of us look useless. The supervisor called us in this morning, yelling that we're all slacking compared to you. Do you have any idea how annoying that is?" Another coworker chimed in. "Just slow down, Stephen. No one's paying you extra to be a saint. We don't want to get in trouble just because you can't stand still." Stephen's shoulders slumped slightly. "I'm not trying to show off. I just want to give my girls what they need. And we just want to stop getting scolded." Mark stepped closer, his voice sharp. "Quit the second job, or at least stop acting like you're better than everyone else. If you keep this up, the boss will raise our targets, cut our breaks, and it'll all be your fault. Stop being so hardworking for all our sakes." He shoved Stephen's cleaning cart aside roughly, then turned and walked away, the others following behind him, leaving Stephen standing alone in the empty corridor. He looked down at the crumpled drawing his youngest daughter had slipped into his pocket that morning, then toward the diner where his second shift would start in an hour. As they walked away, he said gently, "I'm just doing my part here. I am only doing what is expected of us by the company. I am not doing this to get a raise, nor praise from our boss. I am doing this to feed my family and cover our daily needs. I know we share the same goal here, so let's do our best to keep our jobs." "Look who's giving orders now," Jake jeered, leaning against a stack of boxes. "You're just here to sweep floors and empty trash. Don't act like you know better than us." Miko laughed right beside him. "Yeah, stick to your cleaning, cleaner. No one asked for your opinion." Stephen's hands clenched tight around his mop handle. He had only spoken up because they had piled heavy crates right in front of the fire exit. It was unsafe and would get the whole team in trouble if anyone inspected. He stepped forward, his voice sharp with anger he had held back for weeks. "I was only warning you. That's against the rules and you know it." "Oh, gonna throw a fit?" Jake stood up straighter, puffing out his chest. "Try me and see who gets sent packing first." Stephen was just about to snap back, ready to stand his ground for once, when a steady, gentle voice cut through the noise. "Stop this, right now." Edna stepped between them. She was one of the most trusted staff members and had always been fair to everyone. She looked straight at Jake and Miko. "He's telling the truth. Blocking the exit is a safety violation, and just because he is the janitor doesn't mean his words don't matter." Jake and Miko exchanged an awkward look, mumbled half-hearted excuses, and hurried back to their tasks when Edna raised an eyebrow at them. When they were out of earshot, Edna turned to Stephen and helped him set his bucket straight again. "You okay? Fighting them will only make things harder for you. They'll twist the story to make you the one at fault." Stephen let out a long, shaky breath and uncurled his fingers from the mop. "They do this every day. Whenever I try to point out something wrong or fix what they mess up, they treat me like I'm nothing. I just lost my temper." I notice everything you do, Stephen, Edna said softly. I see how you scrub every corner even when no one's watching, how you wipe down our dirty stations after we leave, how you never complain even when they leave extra trash for you to sort. You work harder than most people here. Don't let them make you doubt yourself. Stephen stared at her, and his eyes stung. No one had ever stood up for him like this before. You really mean that? You actually believe in me? Of course I do, Edna smiled warmly. And I've got your back, always. For the first time since he took the job, Stephen didn't feel like he was all alone. The teasing didn't stop after that. They would still spill things on purpose to create extra work for him, still mutter rude names as they walked past, still act like his job didn't matter at all. But Stephen no longer felt the urge to argue or fight back. Whenever the words stung, he would glance over and catch Edna's eye. She would give him a small nod or a quick smile, and he would take a breath, keep working, and let it slide. That afternoon, he was sweeping near the entrance when Miko called out loud enough for everyone to hear. Hey, Janitor! You missed a huge spot here! Can't you do anything right? Stephen paused for a beat, his grip tightening on his broom. He glanced toward the counters, saw Edna give him a little reassuring nod, and relaxed his shoulders. He was just about to bend down when he heard the front door open and the area supervisor walked in. The whole room went dead silent in an instant. Miko's taunt died in his throat. All movement stopped, and no one dared make a sound. Every head turned toward the entrance, and everyone nodded quickly when the supervisor glanced their way. Mr. Reyes, the area supervisor, walked slowly through the work area, glancing at the arranged stocks, the cleaning logs, and checking that everyone was at their posts. I'm just here for a quick check, he said firmly, making sure everyone's doing their part, following rules, and there's no trouble going on. Any complaints or concerns anyone needs to bring up? He looked from one worker to the next. Nobody spoke. Jake just stared at his boots. Miko shook his head stiffly. Even Stephen, who had every right to speak up about the constant disrespect, the extra mess they left for him, and the way they blocked his cleaning paths, only gave a small, calm shake of his head. He chose not to say anything. He just wanted to keep his head down and do his job well. All right then, Mr. Reyes nodded. Carry on? He turned and walked toward the back office to finish his rounds. The moment his footsteps faded, quiet whispers broke out, but they were all about Stephen. Did you see that? Jake scoffed, crossing his arms and staring at Stephen's back. Kept his mouth shut all nice and proper, didn't he? Of course he did, Miko cut in sharply. I think he's so smart, acting all humble and obedient in front of the boss. He's not quiet out of respect. He's just trying to stand out, make himself look like the only good worker here. Right, another coworker added quietly. He's just a janitor, but look at him, trying to make a name for himself by making the rest of us look bad, isn't he? Stephen heard every word clearly as he swept the floor. He had stayed silent to avoid causing more trouble, but even that choice was being twisted against him. He took a slow breath, kept his eyes on his work, and swept another pile of dust into his dustpan. He would let it slide, like he always did. Edna watched from the weighing station, her frown deepening. She was just about to step forward and set things straight when Jake called out again, his tone sharp and mocking. It was barely past 5 a.m., the store still quiet and dim when the front door creaked open. Stephen was the only one there. He had arrived early as usual to mop floors and wipe down displays before opening. A man in plain, worn clothes stepped in, looking pale and unsteady on his feet. Stephen immediately set down his mop and hurried over. Sir, are you all right? Please, let me help you sit down. He guided the stranger to a bench by the entrance, then poured a warm cup of coffee and set it before him. Take your time to rest. No one will mind. The stranger smiled gratefully. Thank you. Most people would have turned me away, saying I don't look like a regular customer. Everyone deserves kindness, sir, Stephen said gently. Is there anything else I can do for you? They talked for nearly an hour about how the store runs, the daily work, even the local fruit harvest. Stephen answered every question honestly, never once asking who the man was. Just as sunlight touched the windows, Jake, Miko, and the rest of the team arrived. They stopped short at the sight of Stephen chatting casually with an unfamiliar face. "Stephen, who is this man?" Jake stormed over, shouting, "Why is a total stranger inside before opening hours?" Miko crossed his arms, glaring fiercely. "Are you that careless? Do you have any idea what risk you're putting this company in? Letting anyone wander in like this?" "Guys, he's just resting," Stephen tried to explain, but they cut him off. "Quiet! You've messed up enough." Two of them grabbed the stranger's arms roughly. "Get out now before you cause real trouble! Let go of me!" The stranger pushed their hands away firmly, then turned and hurried deeper into the building, heading toward the second-floor office area. "Stop him! Don't let him snoop around!" Jake yelled. The whole group chased after him, cornering him on the narrow back balcony. "Where do you think you're sneaking off to?" Miko stepped forward, reaching to grab his arm again. In the scuffle, the stranger stumbled backward. His balance slipped, and he leaned far over the railing, one foot dangling above the drop below. "Watch out!" Stephen yelled. He didn't hesitate, sprinting forward to grab the man's arm tight, pulling him back steadily until he stood safe on solid ground. The stranger let out a long breath, then looked at Stephen with deep gratitude. "Thank you. You had no idea who I was, yet you didn't think twice about helping me." Then he straightened his shirt, and his voice grew steady and commanding. "Now I should properly introduce myself. I am Mr. Villarreal, the CEO of this company. I came here unannounced to see how my staff really behaves when they think no one important is watching." Everyone froze, faces turning pale. "I saw everything," Mr. Villarreal went on. "I saw how Stephen treated me with respect, even when I looked like nobody. I saw his hard work, his honesty, and how he rushed to save me without a second thought. As for the rest of you, you judge people by their status, bully those you think are beneath you, and care more about petty pride than doing what is right." He turned to Stephen, smiling warmly. "Stephen, your character and dedication deserve to be honored. From today, you are promoted to Operations Supervisor with a salary raise and full benefits." Then he looked at Jake, Miko, and the others who had harassed Stephen. "Your behavior is unacceptable. You are all terminated, effective immediately. Lesson: true worth is never measured by position, wealth, or appearance. Kindness and diligence are never wasted. Even when no one seems to be watching, your goodness will always be seen and rewarded. Treat everyone with the same respect you would want for yourself, because you never know who you might meet." Did you love today's story? Then don't forget to smash that like button, share this video with all your friends and family, and most of all, subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. I'll be back with more awesome stories tomorrow. Can't wait to see you then.